What's up? Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Fernando Rivera Jr. with the common sense and random shit show. I gotta say it that way because it's random shit plus shit show because that's what it is, a shit show. And as usual, since I'm on my phone, I gotta see if this thing's working. Yeah, let me find out. I always gotta make sure it's working so I don't look the fool with a major faux pas. Why is this not working? Can I see? There it is. Yeah, apparently, being that I'm on my phone, I don't know how to control it, but my voice sounds a little lower than the videos. I can't control that. I tried. I don't know how to do it, but it is what it is, as I always say. I got too much energy. Shit, I left my coffee over there. Anyway, your friendly neighborhood conservative, ex-con. I got issues. Let me get my coffee. My coffee! Gotta have it. Notification. Gotta get that out. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Breaking news. Not here. This is not the place for breaking news, as I always say. I pretty much scour the internet, ScrewTube, YouTube, and I am live. For you, those of you watching are not surprised, I'm on ScrewTube, on Rumble. If you don't have Rumble, you're conservative. If you don't have it, shame on you. You gotta have it. Owned and run by conservatives. No censorship whatsoever. No muting. No bullshit. And on TikTok, which I'm surprised they haven't muted none of my videos. I guess because they're live. So it doesn't matter after that. Once 2 or 3 people watch, because that's all who watches me. 2 or 3. I still appreciate you guys. Just saying. Let me get this out of here because it's driving me nuts. Hearing myself and then hearing myself and then hearing myself in both. You know. Yeah. Anyway, as I said, I scroll, I look, I download, so you don't have to. And 95, 97% of the videos that I share, I don't watch fully. So you will get my reaction. You will get my commentary, which is the difference between me and everybody else. They'll post their videos, which I gladly listen. I am not viral. I understand that. I'm not big. I don't have a lot of subscribers, a lot of followers, which is fine by me sooner or later. And I'll have my own content once I get a computer. I mean, I don't listen. All of this shit is me. You know what I'm saying? I do all the editing and obviously everything I do. But it's what it is. But I have fun. I come on here to try to entertain you, to show you videos that you may or may not have seen. If you've subscribed to these channels and get notifications, maybe you don't have time. Well, I'm on here every morning showing them. And I'm on here every morning doing what, as I said, not a lot of people doing. I'm doing commentary, making fun of the shit that other people are making fun of because it's a shit show, plain and simple. And instead of you looking at different places, you're welcome. That's why I'm here. And I got my glasses so I could try to look a little smart. Yeah. Anyway, as I said, breaking news. Not here. So let's laugh. Let's have some fun. Most of these are a day or two old. Obviously, yesterday I came on Memorial Day because I did work in the morning. And I said, why not? If I could come here every day, trust me, I would. I enjoy doing this. I have fun. Yeah, life is a bitch. Whatever, I'm dealing with it. I'm still going to come on here. Because the 1 or 2 that watch me are loyal. That's all I'm saying. So I'm here for you. Yeah, anyway, let's get into it.
should people not take medical advice from you?
Well, they probably shouldn't take medical advice from any HHS secretary. Very few of the HHS secretaries, historically, I think maybe 10 or 20%, 15% have been doctors. You know, one of the big mistakes that you and many other of your media colleagues made during COVID is to try to convince the American people that they should trust the experts. Trusting the experts is not a feature of science. It's not a feature of democracy. It's a feature of religion and totalitarianism. That was a bad message. Trust the experts. That's what you kept telling us. Trust the experts.
I don't know that I ever said that.
Well,
I mean, we talked to the officials. Actually,
we're saying it every day. I would say be skeptical of authority. My father told me that when I was a young kid. People in authority lie. And we've seen a lot of that in our country. And people in the media lie. People need to make their own judgments and be skeptical and maintain their capacity for critical thinking. And that was shut down during COVID. And the media was complicit in that.
Disagree on that last part. Secretary Kennedy, thank you for your time.
Good to meet you, Caitlin.
Bruh. It's called fake news.
I don't even talk about CNN. CNN's sort of like, I don't know, they're pathetic, actually. Their ratings have gone down the tubes.
Trust the experts. That's what you kept telling us. Trust the experts.
Bruh.
TDS. That's why they act. Oh, no, don't start there. What am I doing here? Now I gotta get rid of this because, as I always say, faux pas. It's gonna be faux pas when it's live, especially when the screen is this small. And I'm trying to reach and it really is small. You know, these iPhone Pro Maxes, it's a decent size, but if you see what I have to deal with, you'll be like, yeah, I don't know how you do it. Even with my distance glasses, I can't see shit. So, fupa! Almost sounds like a noise. Fupa! Which, that's kind of what happened to Caitlin Collins. That's what it was. I love the way he'd be like, yeah, you guys, yeah, you. No, yeah, you did this. The experts. When have the experts been right? Come on, I'm waiting. Do the experts were the conspiracy theories. And guess what? Most of those conspiracy theories came true. So what is that called? Facts. And facts don't have opinions. It should have had a little sound there, like ring. Idiot. Yeah, anyway. You know, I could literally name my videos every single day. Liberal logic, insanity, stupidity, everything under the roof. And the kitchen sink. And a little dog, too. Just saying. Because I'm crazy. Anyway. As I was saying, commentary, genius, no. No genius here. This guy with the glasses and the beard, again, even though I keep saying I don't want to grow a beard because it drives me nuts, and my little played out Trump hat because it says Trump on it, and I gotta represent every day, everywhere, anyhow, because it is what it is. It's like my thing. I swear I'm gonna get a shirt. It is what it is, as I said so. Just like that with the voice, a little speaker, push the button. It is what it is. And I'm gonna walk by somebody with a mask. Two genders, just saying. Anyway, yeah, next video. My favorite, one of my favorites, you already know. Meme the left.
Today I'm graduating with a degree in comparative literature and society.
What kind of job can you get in this field?
I don't know.
Are you going to continue education or this is it?
Yeah, I'll definitely continue my education. I definitely have plans to go to grad school, so...
I got so mad at work today, I got misgendered by customers 5 different times. 5 different times. You could obviously tell I am a woman. And I got misgendered 5 different times.
We're right for you. I want to say, we're right for you. Are you okay? I'm fine.
Drink plenty of water, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, baby. We love you, Trump. We love you.
Did you vote for that? I'm just curious.
Yup!
Not a single undocumented immigrant in this country gets a dime in federal taxpayer dollars for any part of comprehensive Medicaid coverage. Not a single undocumented immigrant in this country gets a dime in federal taxpayer dollars for any part of comprehensive Medicaid coverage.
I got it down to this. If you're pro-God and pro-America and pro-gun and pro-duck hunting, that's all I want.
Lies. Bullshit. Coming out of liberals and Democrats' mouths. I'm just talking to maybe if there was a liberal watching. God, they can't stop lying. You know, every time I see Trump, you know, when something happens where somebody dehydrates or somebody passes out in the audience or rallies or, you know, he keeps it real. You know what I'm saying? And it's very, very real. You know what I'm saying? The man loves his people, loves his country. Cognitive. He recognizes what's going on. Doesn't take shit from the liberal media. And, you know, it's emotional sometimes when I see what this man does. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people may call him crazy. People might call him dictator, Hitler. But, yeah. Little old me from the ghetto. I almost see I should have a little Cartman in the ghetto. And, you know. But, ex-gang member, ex-convict with common sense. You know, we see it for what it is. And when these liberals act the way they do, say the way they do, say the things they do, and the rallies and the anti-Trump and anti-Elon and anti-democracy and Floyd, I don't know. Anyway, go to the next video. What I do here? Hold on 1 second. Live, as I always say, check it out.
But why stop there? I mean, we can replace the Statue of Liberty with the Statue of Biden. and let's not rule out President Biden being on the $100 bill. I think he's earned it.
I don't know. The Statue of Biden? The $100 Joe?
He should be on the penny, too. and the nickel, and the quarter. and let's not forget the $2 bill.
This just doesn't make any sense.
What doesn't make sense? Joe Biden's a hero. He took a bullet for America. He deserves to be on Mount Rushmore.
But Trump was the one who was shot.
That's all fake news. Joe is the real hero. And that's why I'm inducting Joe Biden into the Football Hall of Fame.
But Joe never played football.
Allegedly.
What?
And to be perfectly honest, I think we should call it the Biden Memorial.
You want to replace Abraham Lincoln with Joe Biden?
Of course. Abraham Lincoln is yesterday's news. Out with the old and in with the Joe.
I don't know about this.
What's not to know? Joe's a champion, a patriot, and that's why Joe Biden will be the new face of the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial.
What?
And instead of the Liberty Bell, I'm gonna call it the Biden Bell.
The Biden Bell?
And the United States of America should be called the United States of Joe.
The United States of Joe?
And this just came to me. We could call it the Constitution. Oh, it sounds so sweet. Just rolls right off the tongue. I can see it now. We the show people.
Wow, this is a lot to take in.
And instead of calling it the Medal of Honor, I'm gonna call it the Medal of Biden.
This is crazy!
What? That Joe Biden should be on the George Floyd mural?
You want Joe Biden to be on the George Floyd mural?
Joe Biden invented electricity.
What?
He invented the telephone. Joe Biden invented the internet.
But that's not true.
That's it. Who do you work for?
I work for CBS.
Well, now it's called ShowBS. You're fired. No more questions.
Joe BS, because that's what it is. It's BS, all of it, all of it, all those big letters, NBC, CBS, CNN. You know, you gotta think about this for a second. I just thought of something. Ping! It's like a little light bulb. You notice that all the acronyms, the letters, are all fake news? I'll let you ferment that for a second. And granted, Fox isn't 100% perfect, but they're not liberal media. Fox. It's not an acronym. Newsmax. Not an acronym. Right Side Broadcasting. Not an acronym. One America News. Not an acronym. Even though it's one AN, but on their logo, but it's think about that for a second. It is probably the dumbest shit I ever thought of. Yes. I got issues. I know. But it is what it is, as I always say. Get a shirt, you know, two genders. I got a lot of energy. I do. And you know, it's not just the caffeine. Even though this is probably my third cup, this cup, since, what, 3 o'clock? Let me see. I got up at 3:05, got to work by 3:30, made myself a whole pot of coffee, probably drank the whole thing while I was working. Then I left around 6, came here to the job that I work at tonight to come on here for you. You're welcome. I know you enjoy the 2 or 3 that are watching. Watching this guy. But yeah, it you know, just saying. Anyway, I just hope that the few that are watching me early this morning or early any morning, even if it's one person that hasn't seen of this stuff out there and said, that's pretty funny, or this guy's crazy, then yeah, they're right. I am. Yep. No argument there. But, you know, I just want to be different. I want to be different than everybody. Everybody that's on here. And yes, I share a lot of stuff. Yes. A lot of stuff isn't mine. But as I said in the beginning, just in case you just came on, I'm sharing their shit, so you don't have to look for the stuff, even though I put links in the description where you can see them later if you get notified or whatever. But if you're at work or whatever and tired of looking through everywhere just to find videos, guess why I'm here? Plus, I'm doing what nobody else does. I'm commentating, reaction, because some of these videos I don't even watch. I put them on here and watch them with you. The 2 or 3 that are watching. Because it is that way. Just saying. Anyway. Yeah, anyway, let's get to more videos. Let me see. Which ones are they? I gotta figure this out because I did that one. It's gotta be one more. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, how can I forget this? Did I do this one already? I didn't. How can I forget? Now I don't know. Crap. Okay, I did that one. Did this one. Did that one. Wow, this is the thing. Okay, look at. I'll admit, I'm not perfect. And I'm solo. So it's kind of sad. But yeah, I'm going to mess up. I actually don't, I forgot what I almost want to rewind it and say, oh, gotta play that one on the little tablet, because I always have my little tablet to double view and make sure I don't faux pas turn the mic off, which I haven't. I made a promise. I said I wasn't going to do it for the 2 or 3 that are watching, 2 genders. Just saying. But anyway, I don't think I put this video yet. Let's find out. We'll see.
Today I'm graduating with a degree in comparative literature and society.
What kind of job?
Guess what? I did. Wow, losing my mind. Yes, I am. Let me get rid of this. I guess I did. I already played everything. Pissed off a lot. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of this. Bear with me, people, my people, my people, because as I say, live, 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 live. I'm sweating my ass off. Yes, hat. I love you, but it's hot. I'm dying over here. All right, let me find out. Video. I played that one. I played that one. I think I played this one. Wow, I really am losing my mind. Let me find out. Did I play this one? I didn't. Check it out, somebody!
Demonstrators gathered and marched through Portland today to remember George Floyd. Now, tomorrow marks 5 years since he was murdered by a police officer in Minneapolis, which started racial justice rallies across the country, including more than 100 consecutive nights of protests here in Portland.
Demonstrators have many of the same demands today that they had 5 years ago. They're calling for police accountability, racial justice, and the hope no one forgets George Floyd.
Whose lives matter? Black lives matter! Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Black lives matter!
You ain't black.
Thank you guys for taking a minute to honor the life of George Floyd. George was a father, a brother, and a son. And his life, like every life, held meaning. His death exposed the holes that are still in our justice and criminal institutions today. And his 5-year anniversary reminds us that we must continue the fight against criminal, racial, and social injustices.
Oh my God.
Drink product 23, 8 feet, dirt. They first.
Diggin Smith on the attack. Misses a layup.
What did I miss? Not a damn thing.
I almost messed that up right there. That's obviously the next video. George Floyd. How can these people just so learn? It's embarrassing. Democrats, liberals are embarrassing our country. Just to let you know, it's embarrassing. They need to stop. We need to stop them. We need to vote them out. I don't care who you are. I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. If you're on the fence, if you agree, that's some insanity right there. Hashtag walk away. You know, when I had was doing not this app, if I was on my phone, I mean on the computer, I would be able to show you links and all this stuff. But being that I'm using my phone, I can't do much with it, but I could do enough. Hashtag walk away. Look them up. Very insightful, real human beings, ex-liberals, ex-purple and blue hair painting. It's just very, very good stuff. Look that stuff up, and you're going to see that America is waking the F up. And they're running away. Running. Just saying. They're running from the bullshit. Ugh. man, it's just what happened? How did they stray so far? How? I mean, is it? I I, I can never understand watching all this stuff and making sense of any of it and how anyone would follow that shit. It'll never make sense to me. And I've seen some shit in prison, in jail, because they're different. Trust me. There's jail where you're waiting to get sentenced, and there's prison once you get sentenced. Two different, completely different lifestyles, or whatever you want to call it, experiences. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in jail, when I was in there, it was for my last case, which was almost 10 years. 3.5 years was me fighting the case, and I was in there with it's just 23-hour lockdown, almost eating your cell pretty much, not many visits. And because I was a gang member, I was considered an SRG, which is a security risk group. And when you're a security risk group or SRG affiliated, they treat you different than anybody else in population. There isn't no population for us. It's straight up lockdown all the time, barely any visits, check your mail. I mean, it's a lot of shit. And 3.5 years of that. And then when I got sentenced, it was like freedom for me, When I got sentenced, I was like, yes. Now I'm going to another prison with a bunch of other nut jobs. But at least they know when they're going home. When you're in jail waiting for trial, waiting for whatever it may be, with a bunch of psychos, wondering what the hell am I doing here with these people? I mean, where I was, it was one of the facilities where I was. It was a high bond. My bond was ridiculous high, a couple $1 million. Not that I was ever going to make even a tenth of that. But being that it was a serious case. But I was, it was different, It's like I said, all the high profile cases were there with me. And even though my case at the time was very serious, I would never understood, because I wasn't involved in what happened. I just knew what happened. But here I am in jail for it happening and for supposedly me being involved, and I wasn't. But one of the people was saying that I was there when I know for a fact he wasn't even there. But you know how it works. Somebody says stuff to get out of whatever he was arrested for, whatever. Snitches. But he was lying, there wasn't 9, 10 of us shooting. There was 3 of us. Same gang. 2 guns. One of them's dead. The other one's out. And another one, I have no idea. The 3 that were involved. That's it. Not 10. There was people involved, and everyone knew what happened that night. But when they arrested us 3.5 years later, we all kept our mouths shut because, it's better to keep your mouth shut and then doing time and than people knowing or thinking you're a tattletale or snitch, because trust me, not safe, especially in Connecticut. But it worked out, sort of, because, I pled guilty to conspiracy and they dropped most of the charges. And then I ended up pleading guilty to 20, suspended after 10 for conspiracy. Conspiracy to murder, yes. Even though I knew what happened, I didn't have nothing to do with it. But I said, screw it, I've been in 3.5 years. Whatever, nolo contendere, which is basically saying you plead guilty under the Alpha Doctrine. I think that's what it was, because I didn't want to go to trial, take any chances, because a few of my co-defendants went to trial and they got 160 years. 2 of them that got 160 years weren't even in town when it happened. So it's kind of scary. It's a big, crazy shit that happened with my case. But while I was in there, I don't know why I went there on a rant, but I dealt with a lot of people. I've seen a lot. I've experienced a lot. Talked to all backgrounds. And that kind of life, it does give you some form of common sense, especially when certain people open up to you as why they were in there, a little bit about their lifestyle, where they've been. There were doctors in there that were in there for murder. There was people that looked like Captain Kangaroo that were there for murder. And I didn't talk to all of them, but some of them. There was attorneys in there for high profile cases. It was a crazy experience that I'll never forget. But it gave me common sense. And ever since I've been out 21 years, I don't want to go back. I became a professional fighter, started doing contract security work, working with the police department in Massachusetts to talk to kids about staying away from the life that I had. I felt really good about that. You know, I felt really good about making that change in my life. As I said, you know, I wasn't a successful professional fighter, but I had fun, just like I'm having fun now. This is what I like to do. Talk shit. And yes, I was never a liberal. That's why I don't do any walkaway videos. I was never a Democrat. I was just comfortable with. I didn't care about politics. I did hate Trump because of listening to the bullshit from the left, liberal media, crazy, insane liars. Every single one of them. I was never like this though. Just saying.
I'm fucking pissed the fuck off. They cut my motherfucking food stamps to $85 from $738. How the fuck? That's supposed to support a household of 3 for a job that barely even support my basic needs now. Like, inflation is high and the bitch groceries is high as shit. Oh, I'm pissed the fuck off. Like, I'm mad as shit because how the fuck am I supposed to survive off that shit? So when y'all see me in the motherfucking store stealing stuff and that shit in my motherfucking bag, nicely act like you don't see shit and mind your motherfucking business because this shit is going in my motherfucking bag and I'm walking out this motherfucking store with my motherfucking chest up and my head held high and I dare you to try to tell me, hey ma'am, excuse me, because I'm gonna look at you like you fucking retarded if they go talk to Trump about you. Or my kids, anybody that motherfucking voted for him, girl, you or him. Y'all, because y'all the stupidest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life.
Hold on, I gotta get out of this. Oh, don't start. Apparently, I mean, you ever, sorry, I have to say this. You ever been in public? Wally World, if you're in Florida, Publix, Winn-Dixie, up north, Stop and Shop, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Trader Joe's, anywhere in public, and you see a couple, and you're like, I don't know, but to each his own. Everyone has a taste, and everyone has someone that they're okay with. I mean, when you see a couple that's beautiful, they're both handsome, beautiful, whatever it is, you're like, great. But a lot of times, those couples are probably trying to kill each other at the house. Just saying. I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying. Then you got couples that are 10, like, you know, a skinny guy and a fat person, or 2 genders. They're happy. So it's whatever. To each his own. But seriously, there are some really ugly people out there. I don't claim to be a god or the most handsome person out there, even though I'm not so bad looking. But I'm just saying, I got a hot wife. I'm just saying. But to be ugly and that stupid, but anyway, that explains a lot. Anyway, yeah. Guys, as you know, martial artist. And I wish, not that I was younger, because believe it or not, I don't feel 53, about to be 54. I'm still really good at martial arts. Sorry to brag, I am. I'm actually really good. I was nominated to be a martial artist of the year in some thing that's going to go on in August that I can't afford to go to. But it's whatever. But I'm good. I just wish. I mean, you know, yeah, I did the UFC thing. Not in UFC, other leagues. Some of them were decent leagues. Got my ass kicked most of the time. Only because I am more of a traditional martial artist. I was okay in the ground because I did some wrestling. Won most of my fights on the ground because I fought tomato cans. Look it up. That's what they call MMA fighters that never really trained fighting. But then towards the end, I got really good with training with the official teams, American Top Team, and all this stuff. And when I met my wife 10 years ago, 9.5 years ago, I was gonna fight, and the guy backed down because I guess he found out where I was training and how my last couple of fights went. So I got called off, and my wife said, "Please retire, please. I don't want that face to get beat up." And I did. Not that I was ever going anywhere. I just had fun. Brain socks. Thank you. Always supporting, always there. You're the shit. Not shit, like just saying. Anyway, but yeah, martial artist. I'm an American Kempoist. I did Taekwondo, Judo, a little bit of everything. And of course, as an MMA fighter, he's trained at everything. I've had some really good Greco-Roman training wrestling, BJJ, everything. Muay Thai boxing. I'm a badass. I'm just sort of bragging a little bit. But I just wish this, what I'm going to talk about next, if you've never watched it, you got to look into this shit. It's pretty badass. Real karate, you know, not fake Cobra Kai type shit. The real shit. I wish this would have come out 20 years ago. If this would have came out 20 years ago, I definitely would have kicked some ass. Just saying. But check it out. Let me find it. This is pretty badass. I'm really psyched up. I haven't watched it in a while. I used to watch it here and there. And one of a legend, Boss Rutan, is very involved in this. I met Boss Rutan once or twice. And the one time I met him, this guy's exactly how he is. Very amped up. He's always, I feel like I'm always on coffee, but it's not that I'm on coffee. It's just that I love this and blah, blah, blah. That sounds like me. But check this out. This is what I call real fighting.
And that was a beautiful kick.
It pretty much hit the whole body. Oh, the shin bone also.
Shin. Firing fast is Teak Silva.
Yeah.
The kicks from Quayhagen, but there's a good one
that was a
to the calf.
One with the shin.
Deniso started that round fantastically with those two shots, but Quayhagen, a beautiful kick,
right on the tip.
Just on the toes.
Boom, there's that leg kick again. Yes, he's the aggressor for sure. That kick, that roundhouse kick that you just saw here before she fell down, that was close.
Taking Abda completely away. This was a nice stomping front kick.
There's that beautiful high kick.
Yeah, Didakos had a couple of good overhand rights.
Oh, you see that? You see him when he moves back. Ooh, that kick, man.
That's great timing.
Connecting. That's a beautiful high kick. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, just caught with the toes, just a few inches further down.
Boom. That was a good kick. Whoa, look at that beautiful body. Up kicking. Look at that. He worked with that stuff.
He's able to just regain his composure. Beautiful question mark kick. Few good slams and good exchanges. He kept driving forward, and that was beautiful.
Like I was saying, Boss Rutan, it's probably one of the guys you hear with a slight accent. This is some real shit. What side is it? This side? Okay. Yeah, this side. Little screen. Mini screen. This is a freaking badass sport. If if you're into UFC or not into it because of the ground fighting, because even I think my dad, he's like, UFC is good and all that, but when I get into the ground fighting, it's boring. Guess what? This is what you gotta watch.
Boom. Head kick. Well, that says it all.
This was the most significant shot. That was a nice time sweep.
I mean, rolling thunder. Wow,
really looked like it connected well, didn't it? But Tim Haar.
Big right roundhouse kick. Instant power with that kick. There's the double kick. The body and of the leg and then the head. Super smart. And then kick. Oh, the shin bone.
I don't know. I didn't realize the thing was that long. It was actually pretty long, and I don't want to take up that much time. But that's the shit. That's karate combat It's a league that came out a couple years ago. As I said, I'm not sure if Boz has any financial stake in it. Probably does. I don't know. But Boz is a legend. Boz Rutten, look him up. The guy was a legend in the UFC when it first started in MMA. He was like one of the original MMA fighters in Pancrase overseas. And the guy is a badass. You know, he was in Here Comes the Boom. And I think he's in the new, he's in a new movie. I forgot what it's called. I think I just saw the trailer the other day, or somewhat just saw part of it, and I saw him. I was like, hey, that's Boz. Anyway, nicest guy out there, really cool, very smart when it comes to any combat sport. But if you want to watch something new, this is it. Look it up. I haven't watched it in a while. I'm gonna start getting back into it. If this thing would have came out 20 years ago, I'd be there. I'd be right there. You know what I'm saying? And I know I would have fared well. I've been doing martial arts since 10 years old. Badass. I'm just bragging a little bit. Anyway, have you guys seen? Everybody's talking about it. The new ad from the Pentagon. Oh, I haven't. If you haven't seen it yet, this is inspiring. This is why the numbers for recruitment are up. For this reason, P. Hegseth is probably the best Secretary of Defense ever. And I mean, if you haven't seen some of the videos, he actually trains with some soldiers. He actually trains with these people. When have you ever seen that? When have you ever seen a Secretary of Defense train with soldiers? Never. Badass. Movie type shit. Just saying. Anyway, they got a new ad out. And everyone's talking about it. I'm sure a couple days ago. And since this is the concept random shit, because I talk about everything, as you just saw, I got to show it here. I have to. You know, I wish I would have never gotten in trouble when I was young. As a youthful offender or whatever, they told me that no matter what, you could still go to the military. But they lied, because when I tried, they were like, sorry, you got a case even though you were a youth. It's on your record. I would have probably been retiring now or when I die. Sorry, somebody was walking by outside. There's a window on this side this time because I'm in a different part of the restaurant. Away from the entrance, all the way in the back. But, if you don't already notice. But, as I said, yeah. So, big respect for the men and women in uniform, true patriots, warriors, and at the moment, P. Hegseth is just doing it. Let me find it, because it is what it is.
No more distractions. No more electric tanks. No more gender confusion. No more climate change worship. We are laser focused on our mission of warfighting.
We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. It's called peace through strength.
You look into the eyes of these young Americans who are giving up the best years of their life in a uniform to serve their nation. They are incredible.
Through our power and might, we will lead the world to peace. Our friends will respect us, our enemies will fear us, and the whole world will admire the unrivaled greatness of the United States military. We will replenish the pride of our armed forces, end the recruitment crisis.
We don't fight because we hate what's in front of us. We fight because we love what's behind us.
God bless you. God bless our armed forces. God bless our men and women serving overseas. And God bless the United States of America.
What I do here? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is! I almost got out of it. Getting a delivery, so slight interruption. I turned off the mic, but I at least remember to turn on. That's badass! Just saying, America's back! Wah! Anyway, love you guys. Stay true to the red, white, and blue. I will see you guys tomorrow. Two genders, love you. Have a great rest of your day. 2 more jobs. I gotta go too. Woohoo! Not really. Peace out. Laters.